Okay. So, this would be a COC1 demonstration lecture on how you will actually do yung ating COC1 demonstration. So, before anything else, before tayo mag-start nung mismong 30-minute na COC1 demonstration, kailangan nating i-prepare lahat ng mga kailangan natin, no, when it comes to the COC1 demonstration. Ano-ano itong mga ito? Unang-una po, of course, is yung readiness po natin of the tools, materials, and equipment na gagamitin natin during the demonstration. Napakahalaga po kasi na by the time na mag-start tayo ng 30-minute COC1 demonstration, ay wala na po tayong magiging pauses or any other delays that you may encounter when you do the demonstration na. Kasi nga, time-bounded po yung ating COC1 demonstration. So ano-ano po yung mga kailangan po ninyong resources na kailangan i-prepare? So of course, unang-una is the tools and equipment according to your learning activities. So kung yung i-demonstrate natin is needed na meron po kayong certain tools, materials, and equipment like for example, kitchen utensils, ingredients mismo ng inyong i-demonstrate, of course, kailangan prepared po ito. Dahil po once na mag-start na po tayo magsalita, ay ang mangyayari po is yung mismong 30 minutes ay magi-start na rin. So by the time, dapat preparado na po tayo lahat. So that also includes wearing of personal protective equipment or yung safety clothes po natin when it comes to actually performing the work. So for construction, of course, meron tayong PPEs. For food handling na qualifications, meron tayong PPEs such as hairnets, kung kaya may suot-suot na splash guard. Hindi kasi pwede para sa akin yung face masks kasi ang problem sa face masks, it can hinder or pahinain po ang ating mga boses. So kung may splash guard po tayo, mas maganda po sana. Kung wala naman, okay lang po na wala. Of course, sa food handling na qualifications or tasks or skills na gagawin, kailangan din po natin maglagay ng apron and of course, during your demonstration, magsuot po tayo ng guantes. For construction naman, of course, pagka may electrical equipment pong involved sa inyong i-demonstrate, magsuot po tayo ng PPE according to the task. Like for example, anti-static wrist straps. That also includes computer system service and qualifications na mag-a-assemble ng computer hardware. Kailangan po may mga proper tools, materials, equipment, at of course, personal protective equipment na gagamitin natin when it comes to the said tasks. So bilang trainer po kasi tayo ay ehemplo ng ating mga trainees. So kung ano po ang ating ginagawa, yun din po ang kanilang inimimik. So you have to exude professionalism and proper accordance to the health and safety practices of your said skill. Okay? So maliban po sa tools, materials, and equipment, yung facilities din po natin kailangan natin i-prepare. Like for example, yung mismong pagde-demonstratean po nating area, dapat po preparado na po lahat yon. So that also includes posting of each of the 9 CBT areas na ating kailangang ikalat all throughout the demonstration area in order for us to identify 9 CBT areas within your demonstration. That also includes posting progress charts and activity matrix. Napakahalaga po, no? And yung pagpa-proper utilization po, which madadaanan naman po natin later on our COC1 demonstrations, yung proper usage po ng ating mga pinost na charts and areas. So lahat po yun kailangan preparado before you even start the COC1 demonstration. Para ma-maximize natin yung 30 minutes kasi medyo marami pong hinihingi talaga si COC1 demonstration because that simulates the whole training process from start to finish. Naintindihan po ha? Then, after that, of course, You will ask your assessor kung pwede na pong mag-start, assessors rather, if pwede na pong mag-start ng inyong COC1 demonstration. So that brings us to the shared screen recording para malaman natin kung ano yung flow ng CO2 demonstration. So let us observe first ano yung mga nangyayari during CO2 demonstration starting here. Okay. Good morning and welcome to Gemalin Manpower Training Center Incorporated here in Baras, Rizal. And welcome to Technical Drafting NC2. I will be your trainer, John Nicolay de Concora. I have prepared the 9 CBT areas, the progress chart and achievement chart, as well as the training activity matrix. And the pleasant day to all. Welcome to, again, to Gemalin Manpower Training Center Incorporated here in Baras, Rizal. And welcome to Technical Drafting NC2. Before anything else, so of course, the very first thing that you're gonna do on your CO1 demonstration is to actually welcome them on the training center and on the qualification. Yung pleasantries po, no, of welcoming your trainees on your training center and the qualification. So, for example, this is technical drafting NC2. So, after that, you will immediately let them answer what we call the pre-training assessment tools, which consists of the trainee's characteristics, the pre-test, and the self-assessment checklist. So, tatlo po yung pre-training assessment tools nating pinapasagutan sa kanila. Trainee's characteristics is, of course, the characteristics of your learners. Yung information po, no, like their preferences, learning styles, and other situations in their lives that can actually affect the whole training process. Next naman po is our pre-test, which of course will gauge the current knowledge ng inyong trainee when it comes to your qualification. And yung self-assessment checklist naman po, from the word itself, i-assess nila yung sarili nila kung ano yung mga bagay or competencies within your qualification na currently possess na nila. So kung ano na yung mga kaya nilang gawin. Kaya ang tawag po dyan is self-assessment checklist. What can your trainees currently do na may kinalaman sa qualification po nila? So ang pag-handle po ng pre-training assessment is tatlong bagay po yan. Unang-una, ina-explain po natin kung ano po ang konteksto, bakit tayo nagpapa-pre-training assessment even before the orientation. Nagpapa-pre-training assessment na po. Bakit ang pinakaunang pinapagawa sa ating mga trainees ay magsagot ka agad. So of course, yung iba kakabahan, bakit may sasagutan ka agad, bakit may test ka agad? Kaya nga ako mag-aaral para matuto nitong qualification na to. So you have to next explain the context kung bakit itong tatlong to ay pinapagawa kagad natin. So bakit ba tayo nagpapa-pre-training assessment? The pre-training assessment is of course ginagawa yan in order for you, the trainers, to know or gauge what are the current knowledge and skills and other situations po ng ating mga trainees sa kanilang buhay na pwedeng makaapekto sa training. And of course, the results of this pre-training assessment will affect how you will handle the whole training process. Kasi ito na yung demographic mo ina-identify mo kung sino ang inyong tuturuan. At mag-a-adjust po, of course, si trainer doon sa kanyang tuturuan kasi learner-centered po tayo. So yun yung dalawang bagay, yung unang bagay rather, ng pag-present kung ano ang pre-training assessment. Pangalawang bagay po is yung mere act of administering the said pre-training assessment. Like for example, yung pag-aabot po mismo nitong mga forms na ito sa ating mga trainees during your demonstration ay yun po ang pangalawang kailangan nyong gawin when it comes to this part of your COC1 demonstration. Kailangan po talaga na maipakita po ninyo na inaabot at pinapa-fill upan po ninyo sa inyong mga trainees, ito pong pre-training assessment. Klaro po? Okay. So after that, yung pangatlong bagay is either pwedeng dito mo na gawin or after the orientation. Ang pangatlo po is yung pagbibigay ng resulta ng inyong pre-training assessment. So ang pagbibigay ng resulta sa pre-training assessment, since nakalagay po dito na dalawang klase po ang ating trainees. Yung isang trainee po has no prior knowledge doon sa qualification po ninyo. At yung isang klase naman po ng trainee is the trainee that has prior knowledge and iisang competency or core competency na lang ang kanyang kailangang matutunan, and it just so happens to be the competency na inyong napili na i-demonstrate dito sa part ng COC1 demonstration po. That way po kasi, mapapakita niyo po yung full progress of training pag isang core competency na lang, yung kanya kailangang matutunan. Kumbaga, since matututunan na niya within this COC1 demonstration, yung competency na yon, pwede na siyang mag-exit ng program right after the whole process. Kasi isang core competency na lang yung kulang. Okay? So, we will continue on the video. Then, after the whole process of the pre-training assessment, i-observe po muna natin kung paano ginawa ang pre-training assessment. Then, after that, magdi-discuss naman ako nung next na gagawin po ninyo for COC1 demos. Makinig po muna.
Else, I would like for you to answer what we call the pre-training assessment tools. This consists of the trainee's characteristics that you will be doing for 10 minutes, a pre-test for 20 minutes, and a self-assessment checklist for 10 minutes. Don't worry, this is just to gauge current knowledge and skills with regards to technical drafting and C2. So please answer this. Start with the trainee's characteristics and the pre-test. Next is the self-assessment checklist. Are you done? Okay. So with that, I will continue on welcoming you.
So before I forget, no, yung ating pre-training assessment or any other task na i-delegate or ipapagawa natin sa ating mga trainees must have their own nominal duration. Every time na magpapatask po tayo, dapat may nominal duration po. Okay? After naman po nun, next question dyan is, pinag-isa-isa nyo pa po na ibigay yung tatlong klase ng pre-training assessment. Pwede po bang ang pag-administer ng pre-training assessment ay sabay-sabay na lang at sabay-sabay din po itong i-explain ng isang paragraph, for example? Pwede po. Hindi po kailangan hiwa-hiwalay ang pagbibigay ng pre-training assessment as long as naipakita nyo na binigay nyo yung pre-training assessment at the same time na i-explain nyo, narinig po ng inyong mga trainees, yung explanation ninyo on your pre-training assessment. So right after the pre-training assessment portion, you will move on to what we call the orientation. So itong orientation, of course, is an overview of your training center, of competency-based training, and of the qualification na this time nga po, technical drafting NC, ito yung ating example. Dito sa overview of your training center is simple sentence will do. Minsan kasi, kinukuha po ng maayos, no, na pag-discuss ng background of the training center, yung oras po natin na 30 minutes. Kumbaga, bumahaba po yung oras dahil sa thorough explanation natin on how you or how the background of or how the school rather came to be or yung background nga po ng ating school. So, a simple sentence will do. Hindi po kailangan ng mga mission vision, hindi po kailangan ng mga organizational chart, is simple sentence kung saan po ito naka-locate at kung anong qualifications offered or courses offered ng school will do. So after that, i-play po muna natin.
As well as the orientation for technical drafting and C2. So firstly, Gemalin Manpower Training Center Incorporated is located in Baras, Rizal. It is a TESDA accredited training and assessment center that offers courses such as Domestic Work NC2, Electronic Products and Assembly Servicing NC2, and Technical Drafting NC2. Our mission is to provide high-quality training to enable our trainees. Wait. Ayan. To enable our trainees to be globally competitive and easily land a job. While our vision is to have an affiliation with recruitment agencies that will help us in facilitating the deployment of our graduates.
So after that, you will facilitate a workaround lang po, no? Hindi kailangan talaga mag-facility tour. I-explain lang natin yung mapa or yung plano ng ating training center. Ang magandang maipakita lang po talaga dito is of course, yung pagtutour natin of the facility kahit virtually lang through the map at yung ma-identify natin which are the areas and their purpose. Okay?
So here at Gemolin Manpower Training Center, our technical drafting NC2 workshop layout consists of 9 CBT areas. We are here right now on our computer laboratory. Opposite opposite of the computer laboratory is the restrooms for both male and female, as well as the support service area. On our left is the institutional assessment area, which the institutional assessment will be conducted, and as well as the practical work area, which will be the demonstration or the skill part of our learning will be will be there. Adjacent to that too is the trainer's resource area, which basically is the faculty room for technical drafting NC2, and which houses the CBLMs, the curriculum guides, and the training regulations that the trainer may use in order for them to conduct the learning sessions. So at the end of the hallway naman is the learning resource area, which basically all the resources are, and as well as the contextual learning area and the distance learning area for our knowledge-based learning. So here under TESDA and GML.
So yun po, no, a simple workaround tour of the workshops or yung mismong plan or map ng training center nyo will do. So after that, magpo-focus na tayo dito sa training delivery method, no? Natapos na tayo sa orientation on the school. Magkakaroon na tayo ng orientation on the training delivery, which is competency-based training. So ang mahalaga po dito sa competency-based training na orientation po natin is number 1, the 10 CBT principles. You're gonna have to explain at least 3 of them. So ang mangyayari po dito, I will explain all of them. But during your COC1 demonstration, you only need to explain 3 of them. Pero kailangan basahin lahat. Para mas maging realistic yung ating naging orientation on the training delivery. Ulitin ko po, 3 CBT principle lang po ang kailangan i-explain, but you're gonna have to read all of them. The second part naman po na importante dito sa training delivery natin, which is competency-based training, is the explanation of the CBT process flow. So yung CBT process flow naman po ay may explain naman po dito, and of course, kailangan natin maintindihan kung paano magpoproseso yung competency-based training. So pakinggan na lang po natin kung paano i-deliver yung explanation of both CBT principles and the process flow.
Manpower Training Center, as well as the Technical Drafting NC2 course, we use a training delivery of what we call the competency-based training. It is an approach that focuses on the competency development of the learner as the result of the training. So why do we use competency-based training? Because education and training must keep pace with the current technology and customer requirements. So under CBT, we have 10 principles. Firstly, the training is based on the curriculum developed from the competency standards. So basically, everything that we're gonna use or we're gonna learn here is from what we call the competency standards written by TESDA. Next is learning is competency-based or modular in structure. So basically, you will be learning one module at a time. And sometimes there are particular modules that have a prerequisite. So basically, you have to be able to do the previous module or to learn the previous module in order for you to move on to the next. Number 3, training delivery is individualized and self-paced. So here at competency-based training, we believe the competency development of the learner as the result of the training should be individualized. It will be based on your trainee's characteristics, your learning styles, and other situations that you may or may not have. Number 4, training is based on work that must be performed, meaning to say that the training that you will be undergoing sa ating technical drafting NC2 should be at an industry standard. So what basically is available on the industry must be what is being taught dito sa ating training center. Number 5, training materials are directly related to the competency standards and the curriculum. So basically, all the required training materials as well as the training requirements that is based on the competency standards and the competency-based curriculum should be given to you. So we will cover all of the competency standards that you will be needing in order for you to become competent on technical drafting NC2. Number 6, assessment of learners is based in the collection of evidences of work performance based on industry or organizational required standards. So you will be assessed according to your personal development with regards to the training, the technical drafting NC2. So you will be assessed based on your current work performance as well as your current development and competence with regards to the training. Number 7, training is based on and of the job components. So basically, it will be better to have for you to have an industry immersion of what technical drafting NC2 really is about. Number 8, the system allows recognition of prior learning. I will assume that some of you have further or previous rather learning or competence with regards to technical drafting NC2, especially that this particular course is divided into two very different aspects or styles or progress on how to produce technical drafting drawings, which is on how to do it manually and how to do it using computer-aided design. Number 9, the system allows for learner to enter and exit programs at different times and levels and to receive an award for competencies attained at any point. So this is with in correlation with the principle number 3 that the training is individualized and self-paced. Meaning to say, you will be receiving an award for competencies that you are deemed competent enough, as well as there is a flexibility in our training. You don't really need to relearn stuff that you already learned as long as it is on the standard of the training regulations. And number 10, all training programs are nationally accredited within the UTPAS or the Unified Tibet Program Registration and Accreditation System. This basically says that all training programs are this basically says that all training programs from the very north of the Philippines up to the very south of the Philippines must be standardized.
So that would be an explanation for all of the 10 CBT principles. Once again, you just have to explain 3 of them, but you're gonna have to read all of them. So, ginawa ko lang siyang 10, in-explain ko lang siya lahat in order for you to have a brief of reference in order for you to actually explain each kung ano man po yung napili na. So, the next is the CBT process flow. It is one of the most important parts of the tool orientation process when it comes to COC1 demonstration. Kasi dito natin napapakita yung understanding natin on the CBT process kapag kaya natin i-explain kung paano nangyayari yung CBT process. So, of course, the CBT process is generic to all qualifications because this is the process of your training delivery. Hindi ito nakafocus sa inyong qualification. Nakafocus sa ito kung paano tayo nagde-deliver ng all types of qualification na proseso on how we conduct competency-based training. So, pakinggan natin kung paano in-explain yung competency-based training process flow.
So we also have what we call the CBT process flow, which we will be discussing on how the process of CBT or competency based training will be delivered. First, the trainee will enter the program. We're gonna have orientation just like what we are doing right now. Later, I will discuss my role as the trainer and your role as the trainee, and we will identify your training needs according to the results of what we call the pre-training assessment tools that you did earlier. And based on that identification of your training needs, we will organize the learning activities. Next, you, the trainee, will select a competency. We're going to have administer a learning agreement. I will introduce the competency-based learning materials which we will be using to learn the competencies that is required in order for you to become competent on technical drafting and C2. And I will also discuss the use of the achievement chart and the progress chart. Now, after that, you will be receiving what we call the CBLM or the competency-based learning materials. It consists of learning packages, multimedia materials, manuals, observations, practicing of the skills in the workshop, and as well as receiving assistance and feedback. Now, if you feel confident enough to be able to do the task involved with the CBLM, you, the trainee, will attempt the task. And I, as the trainer, will observe your performance, and we will both rate your performance. If you are deemed if you satisfactorily perform the competency, you will undergo what we call the institutional assessment, undergo the national assessment, and exit the program. So you will be basically doing the institutional assessment for all competencies. And if you are competent na on all the competencies needed for the training of technical drafting and C2, you may undergo what we call the national assessment and exit the program. Now, in the event that you did not meet the standards and you did not satisfactorily perform the competency, you may always go back to the CBLM until such time that you are competent enough for that particular skill.
So that is the explanation on how the competency-based training process works. So ang mahalaga lang po nating mapakita dito is actually to let your assessors know yung understanding natin on how we will do competency-based training. So after that, itong mga next na orientation materials naman is not as important as the last two, but of course, you're gonna have to deliver it. Usually, dito sa part na to, ang sinasabi ko na lang para hindi mahirapan, kung ano yung nakikita sa screen, basahin ng konti, mag-explain lang ng konti, and run through the whole orientation process na. So, yun lang yung pinakadalawang mahalaga, yung competency-based training principles and yung process flow po niya. The rest naman po is yung i-elaborate lang natin what is actually on the screen. Yung roles of trainers, roles of trainees, explanation on what CBLMs are, evaluation system, tsaka yung qualification overview ng inyong qualification or NC. Ang mahalaga lang po dito is of course maging realistic tayo sa ating orientation, especially on the qualification overview. Ang mahalaga pong ma-explain doon is what are the competencies, ano ba yung mga matututunan natin para mag-set po tayo ng objective sa ating mga trainees kung ano yung ituturo natin sa kanila. So let's continue.
Now, as your trainer, I will be facilitating your learning. I will mentor you on the skills related na learning natin. I will manage your learning activities, and even on your learning progresses, I will make myself available for consultation and evaluation of your training progresses. Now, as the trainer naman, you may select what you want to learn and when you want to learn it, however you want to learn it, as long as it is within reasonable time period. You will learn at your own rate within program guidelines. You may receive credit for what you already know through the use of the recognition of prior learning. You may choose how you want to learn, and you are also responsible on what and when to learn. Now, I will introduce what we call the competency-based learning materials package. So CBLMs is simply a well-designed and carefully developed learning materials that give trainees detailed instructions to guide them throughout the learning process. It may consist of media that contain information related to work requirement, learning that is guided towards the achieving the competency required in a workplace. It may be tools that facilitate the individual learning process or instruments that measure the competency required in the workplace. It can be learning guides, assessment materials, workbooks with activities, tasks, and content, background reading materials or documents, handouts, and other audiovisual materials, as well as industry competency standards. Here at Technical Drafting NC2, we'll be using 6 different types of learning materials, which consist of information sheets. Basically, here it is handouts of what the information that you may have to learn in order for you to progress on our training. Now, how after you read the information sheet, you will read after what we call the self-check. So you will check yourself if you really did acquire or learn the information written in the information sheet. You will assess your learning based on that information. You will be doing tasks too. So we use 3 different sheets for tasks. So first is the operation sheets, which basically is instructions for you to operate a certain equipment or machine. Na task sheet naman, on the other hand, is a sheet that has instructions for you to be able to do or demonstrate a particular task. And the job sheet naman, on the other hand, is an instructional sheet pa rin in order for you to do a particular output-based job or multiple tasks. And those different types of task sheets or instructional sheets, there is a performance criteria checklist that we will be using in order for you to gauge yourself, as well as me as your trainer. I will rate your performance based on that tasks. So under competency-based training, we have an adjectival evaluation system, which is competent and not yet competent. You will be assessed based on your competence to do a particular skill or a task. So it is adjectival in nature and not numerical. You will be assessed according to your attitude, skills, and knowledge. And for the second evaluation system naman, which is to be not yet competent, we emphasize on the word yet. So you will be given a reasonable amount of time to be able to be competent in a particular skill. So I will now introduce you to the qualification of Technical Drafting NC2. Under Technical Drafting NC2, we have a total of 10 competencies. Sorry, 14 competencies. So for basic, we have 4. Participate in workplace communication, working in a team environment, practicing career professionalism, practice occupational health and safety. Common competencies naman, we have to perform mensuration and calculation, interpret technical drawings and plans, apply quality standards, perform computer operations. And for the core competencies, we have drafting, architectural layouts and details, as well as preparing computer-aided drawings. Not included in the presentation is what we call the elective competencies for technical drafting and C2, which is to draft plumbing and sanitary layouts and details, draft structural layouts and details, draft electrical layouts and details, and lastly, draft mechanical layouts and details. Again, you will be assessed according to your attitude, your skills, and your knowledge.
So that concludes the orientation of the COC1 demonstration. So after your orientation, you will provide results of your pre-training assessment na hinandle natin earlier. So either dito natin siya ilagay or before the orientation, pwede na rin po tayo mag-provide ng ating pre-training assessment results. So ang mahalaga pong mapakita natin sa pre-training results or pre-training assessment results rather is the difference of the situations in your trainees. So dapat po kasi magkakaroon tayo ng isang trainee that has prior knowledge na when it comes to your qualification at yung certain competency na lang na ilalak niya is yung competency po na inyong i-discuss as you go along on the training. Para iisang core competency na lang yung kanyang kailangan in order for them to actually proceed with ending of the program. Makuha na niya lahat ng competencies. Ika-clarify ko lang na nakalagay dito, si trainee number 1 has prior knowledge on architectural layouts, drafting architectural layouts and details. Si drafting architectural layouts and details po is not the competency that I chose para dito sa COC1 demonstration na to. Kung mapapansin po natin kasi dito, sa qualification overview, core competency number 1 is draft architectural layouts and details. Pero yung pangalawa po niyan, na hindi lang po nakikita, pasensya na po, natatakpan po kasi, is prepare computer-aided drawings. Si prepare computer-aided drawings po, ang aking napili na core competency. Ibig sabihin, meron siyang prior knowledge sa draft architectural layouts and details. Ang hindi pa niya alam is to prepare computer-aided drawings. Dadalawa lang po kasi ang core competency ng technical drafting and C2. So, in theory, ang pinapakita po dito is not about drafting architectural layouts and details in general. Pinapakita po dito that the trainee has prior knowledge on every competency maliban doon sa napili nyo core competency, which is on this case, prepare computer-aided drawings. Iisa na lang po ang competency na wala siyang prior knowledge and skills. So, since meron na siya ng lahat ng competencies maliban dun sa prepare computer-aided drawings, yun na lang ang kailangan niyang matutunan in order for the said trainee na mag-exit ng program later. So of course, si trainee number 2 has no prior knowledge when it comes to the qualification whatsoever. Ang ipapakita natin kasi dito when we do jump to the training proper date is yung micro-teaching or yung difference ng task na ipapagawa natin dito sa dalawang ito. Kaya po pinaghiwalay natin yung sitwasyon ng dalawang trainee po na inyong kasama dito sa COC1 demonstration po na ito. Okay, let's continue.
Training assessment results. So, according to these results, trainee number 1 has prior knowledge on drafting manually using the drafting architectural layouts and details using manual drafting. So I will be asking for a certain proof or evidence with regards to that particular competence or the core competency for drafting architectural layouts and details. While si trainee number 2 naman po pala has no prior knowledge of technical drafting and C2. So for tomorrow, you will be beginning your learning development for technical drafting and C2. So see you then and see you tomorrow. So yun, welcome to Gemalim Manpower.
So after the pre-training result, maghihiwalay po kasi kayo ng araw. this is not necessarily day 2, but another day on the training. Kasi baka ina-assume natin nakalagay dito day 1, day 2, day 3, baka 3 araw lang yung training, hindi po. Iniwalay ko lang siya into different days so that maipakita natin na itong mga bagay na ito ay nangyayari hindi sa isang buong araw lang. Bagkus 3 example na araw sa full training process. Day 1 of course orientation 'yan. Itong day na ito is the training proper day, and yung pangatlong hati nung TOC1 demonstration focuses on the institutional assessment at egress or exit po ng program ng isang trainee. So first day, middle of the training, last day of training. Ganun po siya nangyayari ha. So hiwa-hiwalay po ito, at ang focus natin dito ngayon sa day 2, quote unquote, is the training proper. Yung pagde-deliver natin ng 4 po na learning methods. So observe po natin kung paano siya ginawa.
Training Center incorporated here in Baras Rizal. Welcome to our second day for technical drafting and C2. And before anything else, I would like to for you rather to fill up this attendance. So please. Okay, done na po. Okay, so we may continue. According to our training activity matrix, trainee number 1 has no prior knowledge with regards to technical drafting and C2. So he will be reading the very first information sheet on drafting architectural layouts, which is to understand symbols or architectural plans. While si trainee number 2 naman that has prior knowledge for technical drafting and C2, we will be focusing today on how to do basic geometry on AutoCAD.
So you will utilize training activity matrix as a parang schedule on what would you do for a specific day. Yun yung purpose ng training activity matrix. Di ba sabi ko magpa-skill ng training activity matrix. By the time na nandito kayo, lalapit kayo sa training activity matrix, kunyari gagawin mo siyang reference, at sasabihin mo kung ano yung nakalagay doon para mahiwalay natin yung dalawang trainings natin. Medyo naguluhan lang dito kasi napagbaliktad ko yung trainee numbers. So nakalagay kanina kasi diba trainee number 2 has no prior knowledge. So siya dapat yung nasa information sheet 1.1-1 hanggang self-check 1.1-2. Si trainee number 1 ay may prior knowledge na ng drafting architectural layouts and details. So ang ipapagawa ko sa kanya ngayon is itong information sheet 2.3-1 hanggang demonstration and receiving feedback on basic geometry. So si drawing basic geometry po kasi ang aking napiling learning content na i-deliver para dito sa 4 na learning methods po na ito. So napagbaliktad ko lang po yung trainee numbers, no? So para hindi mahirapan, huwag kayong magsabi ng trainee number 1, trainee number 2. Pangalanan po. Kahit anong pangalan will do naman. Pangalanan po natin yung dalawang trainees para ma-identify nyo sino ba si trainee na may prior knowledge, sino ba si trainee na walang prior knowledge. Okay, so you will use or utilize the training activity matrix na nakapaskill po sa inyong demonstration area in order for you to delegate tasks dun sa dalawang trainees po na yan. So ang mangyayari po dyan right after, uunahin na lang bigyan ng activity yung trainee na walang prior knowledge. At pagsisimula pa lang kasi siya, no? So information sheet 1.1-1, etc. etc. After that, you will focus on your trainee that has prior knowledge, o yan yung kapartner niyo po during the demonstration na bibigyan nyo ng 4 na learning methods. So yung 4 na learning methods is first, the individual study. Papagbasahin mo daw siya ng nakalagay naman dito. Information sheet 2.3-1, answer the self-check answer, and compare your answers to the answer key. Yun yung unang method. Individual study po yun. Pangalawa is the video presentation on how you will do basic geometry. So magpe-play po talaga kayo ng video hanggat hindi po pinapa-stop ng ating assessor yan sa TM1 National Assessment. Hindi nyo i-stop yun. Pero ang kailangan lang po makita nila during the second learning method, which is the video presentation, is you actually presenting the video with, of course, visual or yung video mismo at napapatunog nyo yung sounds ng video na yun. Once na ma-identify nila na-share mo sa screen yung video tapos tumutunog yung audio niya, ipapastop naman na po yung video. So that is the second method. The third method is you're gonna have to have a lecture, wag masyadong habaan, 3 to 4 slides will do, on the said task. So for example nga dito, no, may lecture discussion ako on drawing basic geometry. So nag-lecture ako kung paano mag-drawing ng line, ng circle, ng rectangle, ng polyline, tsaka ng hatch. So limang commands lang naman po yan sa AutoCAD at gagawin natin to 2 to 3 minutes lang po siguro para hindi masyadong mahaba yung inyong lecture discussion. Pangatlong method yon. Pang-apat na method is the demonstration. So ida-demonstrate mo na kung ano yung task na inyong ipe-perform. So ang pinakauna daw nakalagay dito sa baba is observe demonstration on drawing basic geometry. Meaning to say, you will do the task or the demonstration first. Ipapakita mo sa ating trainee na dapat nag-o-observe sa'yo yung task na gagawin. So after, of course, ma-observe nila yung demonstration, you will let them perform the same task. So habang nagpa-perform sila, of course, ng task na ito, ang trabaho po ni trainer ay observe yung performance ng ating trainee kung tama ba yung ginagawa niya or kung may kailangang i-correct or areas for improvement. And lastly, during the demonstration, nag-demonstrate ka as the trainer, nag-demonstrate si trainee mo ng task na yon, parehas na task dapat, magpo-provide ka ng feedback on the said task. So ang pagpo-provide natin ng feedback, napag-aralan na natin to, which yung tinatawag nating sandwich method, no? Sandwich kasi may tinapay sa taas at baba, may palaman sa gitna. Meaning to say, yung tinapay sa sandwich method nasa taas at nasa ibaba is positive points of the feedback. Ano ba yung mga nagawa niyang tama at sa yung nasa ibaba naman po or sa dulo, ano yung pwede niyo maging recommendation doon sa overall performance ng ating mga trainees. So igigitna natin yung negative aspects of your feedback or yung tinatawag nating areas for improvement. Ano pa yung kailangan i-improve? So you will do positive points first, then proceed with the areas for improvement, and lastly, i-reinforce mo siya on providing recommendation on how to actually improve these areas for improvement. So ganun po yung pagpo-provide ng feedback. So let's continue on observing kung paano niya gagawin yung apat na methods na ito.
So, training number 1, please proceed to our contextual learning area and read on information sheet 1.1-1 and answer the self-check after. While si training number 2, please proceed to our computer laboratory and we will begin our lecture on preparing computer-aided drawings. So again, welcome to preparing computer-aided drawings. I will be a trainer, John Nicolay Di Goncora. We'll be focusing on the second core competency, which is to prepare computer-aided drawings. Again, you will be assessed later according to your attitude, knowledge, and skills. For today, we'll be focusing on the third learning outcome, which is to lay out and produce computer-aided drawings. And we will be focusing on the first learning content, which is how to draw basic geometry. So we're gonna have first.
So nagbigay lang siya ng overview on the specificity of the task, which is yung geometry as a learning content. So right after that, ang mangyayari is the first method, individual study.
Before the video presentation, please read on information sheet 2.3-1 for geometry. And after that, you may answer the self-check and compare your answers to the answer key. You will be given 10 minutes for that.
So that is the first method, no? So while you are saying that you will let them read the information sheet, answer the self-check, and compare your answers to the answer key daw, at nagbigay ng nominal duration, no? Every task na ipapagawa nyo sa ating mga trainees, dapat may nominal duration. Excuse me. So after or during na binabanggit natin na you will let them read the information sheet, answer self-check, compare answers to the answer key, nag-act out tayo, nag-hand out tayo ng papel sa kanila. At of course, pag abot natin ng papel sa kanila, kailangan nilang i-act out yung trainee natin. Kailangan natin i-act out yon na nagbabasa talaga yung trainee natin. Nung information sheet, kunyari nag-answer talaga siya ng self-check at nagko-compare siya ng answers niya sa answer key. So that is the first method. The second method is either interchangeable yung lecture tsaka video presentation ha. Inuna ko lang yung video presentation dito pero pwede muna kayo mag-lecture before you have the video presentation. So, nakakaisang method na tayo. Pangalawang method.
Done na? Okay, did you sufficiently learn the topic? Okay, not yet. So don't worry, I will be providing a video presentation on basic geometry.
Hi guys, this is the second part of the to start drawing. If you level, data.
Okay, done na?
So once again, ang important lang po when providing video presentation is mai-present natin or ma-share natin yung screen of the said video at the same time naririnig yung audio ng video po na yun. So, sinimulate ko lang siya kasi mahaba yung video. Pero in reality, as long as mai-provide nyo yung video at audio dun sa screen at naririnig nga yung audio, ipapaputol naman po yun ng inyong mga assessors. So that is the second method of learning. Pangatlo po is the lecture. So magpo-proceed na po ito right after sa lecture. Pakinggan po natin.
Okay, so we will be continuing on the presentation on drawing basic geometry. So we will proceed on the lecture. Ayan. So first daw, let's draw a line. So remember that AutoCAD recognizes an object by its coordinates. So there are three types of coordinates or certain points in a three-dimensional setting. So it will be rather the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. You will be given 2 points po muna on a 2D setting for you to be able to draw a line. So basically, a line is a distance between 2 points. So to start a random point on your WCS for your first point, but you should specify the coordinates of your second point. So you will type the command line on your command window, or you may click on the line icon on the draw toolbar, or you will select line on the draw menu. Excuse me. Next is to specify the first point and to specify the second point. If you want to do a orthographic line, which is basically restricted into horizontal and vertical, you have to hit F8 daw, function 8, to have the orthographic mode on. You can give the command, specify the first point, and you will specify the distance between the 2 points. So in relation to the first point daw. So if you want to do it 7 units, you have to type 7. If we know the coordinates of the line we want to draw, we can simply type into the command line. So however, this mostly is not the case. So you will type the line command and specify the coordinates. So 4, 8, 11 and 5, 11, 23, for example. So maliban sa line, we have different shapes or objects or other things pa na we want to use in order for us to be representing more dun sa drawing, because that's the very point of AutoCAD. Computer-aided design and drafting is basically a representation of the actual manuals in order for you to design or to build rather a building or a structure. So we can use rectangle commands. You have to specify the point A and the point B. So point A will be the top left and point B will be the bottom right. Next is the circle. So for the circle daw, you have to first identify the center of the circle or arc. And next is the radius of the circle or arc in relation to this center point. For the polygon naman, you're gonna have to specify the number of edges first. Next is you're gonna have to identify the radius in relation to the center. And lastly, you will identify if it is inscribed or circumscribed in a circle. So polyline naman po is basically multiple lines that is treated as a one line. So you actually group them. So you will type P line in order for you to draw polylines. You may also draw a closed shape and you may also curve it, yung polyline, in order for you to have a more fluid designs. So this will be more helpful sa ating mga fluid designs like for trees, ponds, pools, etc. Hatching naman is basically filling up a certain enclosed space. So you may select what are the types of hatches that an enclosed space or an object should have. So there are particular types of hatches or particular materials. Like for example, yung square po na ito, yung honeycomb po ang kaniyang hatch that basically represents what we call insulation. Yung in between walls, yan po yung representation ng insulation. So para hindi magkaroon ng heat sa loob ng kwarto, we provide insulation po kasi. May it be sa pader, may it be sa bubong, and even floors, we have insulated floors minsan. So maliban po sa heat transfer, we also insulate our rooms for soundproofing. On the right side naman, yung medyo naka-curve na object, that is actually a hatch for concrete. So ibig sabihin, pagka naka-fill up yung certain na object ng ganyan, so that always represents that it is made of concrete. So
Okay. So after you do the lecture, maiksi lang yung lecture na nagawa ko, no? Mga 5 minutes lang siya. So since natapos mo na siya, in theory, kung paano ginagawa yung task mo, the next thing that you will do is to actually perform the task na. So nakakatatlong methods na po tayo, pang-apat po ang demonstration as a method. Okay? So ang mangyayari dyan, although sana ma-appreciate nyo kahit paano, no? Ang nangyari kasi dyan is i-demonstrate ko na on how you will do drawing basic geometry on AutoCAD. So ang ginawa ko, nagbukas ako ng AutoCAD. Tapos, I let my trainees observe muna yung aking demonstration on the task before ko pagawa sa kanila.
after that, so tapos na po ang ating lecture. And next, I will be demonstrating on how to do basic geometry using AutoCAD. Okay, the first daw is to draw basic geometry. So if you are doing basic geometry, you will type L for line, specify the first point, and as you can see, it is now you can actually locate the second point anywhere. But if you hit F8 for orthographic mode, you will be restricted to vertical and horizontal lines. So let's just say that here is the second point. So you basically draw a line. So the next daw po is if you want to draw circles, you will type C for circle, specify the center line of the circle and the radius. So let's just say na yan. So for rectangles naman daw, you should be able to identify the top left first corner point and the bottom right corner point of the shape. So you can also use polyline daw using PL. So you can draw multiple lines that has only one representation or selection. So isa lang po ang kanyang selection. While if you do the line lang, for example, ayan. So it is separate. You may also join the lines in order for them to become polylines, and you may also explode type X to explode the selection of those lines. Next is using spline naman, type SPL and specify the points. So, yan po. For example, yan. Ay, sorry. Yan. Oh, sorry. Yan. So, it is a polyline that is curved. So, what else daw? Type H for hatches. So, these are solid hatch. These are for tiles. Litan lang natin para makita. Yan. Yan. So, for example, those are tiles. Pwede ring lines. These are for roof, bubong. Ganyan ang itsura ng top view ng bubong. Bricks. Oh, sorry. Bricks. Ayan. Other types pa. Tiles. Concrete. Bricks ulit. And etc. So those are basic geometry using AutoCAD. Are you ready for the demonstration?
So, ang point lang po is magde-demonstrate talaga kayo on how to do the task. From start to finish, ipapakita niyo talaga. It just so happens na since online yung setting ng itong sample demonstration ko, at the same time, software yung ginagamit ko on the computer, pinapakita ko doon sa screen kung paano gawin yung task. Ngayon, since tapos na yung task na demonstration ni trainer, ipapagawa nyo na kay trainee yung same task. So yung output niya is kung ano yung output niya dapat. Tingnan natin kung paano niya.
Okay. If you are ready, you may proceed to the practical work area and do the demonstration. So first you have to draw a line daw. Okay, good. Draw a circle. Okay. Draw a rectangle. Hatch. Okay, good. According to your demonstration, you satisfactorily performed the task. There is a certain minimal discrepancy on the...
So yun, no, pinagawa ko talaga yung task. And
Action,
ino-observe ko yung ginawa niyang task.
So those are basic geometry using AutoCAD. Are you ready for the demonstration? Okay. If you are ready, you may proceed to the practical work area and do the demonstration. So first you have to draw a line daw. Okay, good. Draw a circle. Okay. Draw a rectangle. Hatch. Okay, good. According to your demonstration, you
So yun, ginawa talaga nung trainee yung task. Yun lang po yung mahalagang maipakita rito. So after that, you will provide feedback on the task of your trainees. At the same time pala, no, while your trainees are doing the same task, kailangan mo talagang i-simulate or ipakita na nag-evaluate at nag-observe ka sa kanila while they are performing the task. Mahalaga po yun ha, na maipakita natin na tayo ay nag-demonstrate on evaluating their performance. So after that, you will provide feedback. So sabi ko kanina, ang pag-provide ng feedback is positive points first, then areas for improvement, then recommendation. Pakinggan natin.
satisfactorily perform the task, there is a certain minimal discrepancy on the dimension requirement of those shapes, but nonetheless, you performed it well, and I can now consider you to undergo the institutional assessment for tomorrow. So congratulations, and be ready for an institutional assessment for tomorrow. Okay, welcome for our
So after your feedback doon sa ating trainee, ang next na gagawin po natin dyan is to recommend them to undergo the institutional assessment. So i-deem mo silang competent doon sa ginawa niyang performance. That way po, magpo-proceed yung ating institutional assessment. So yung institutional assessment na ipapagawa nyo is doon din sa same core competency po na yun. So yung task na ipapagawa nyo rin during the demonstration portion of the institutional assessment is yung same task lang din para hindi na mahirapan yung inyong partner trainee. So yan, since nandito na tayo sa third leg of the COC1 demonstration, mag-undergo sila ng institutional assessment. So, ipapakita ko ulit yung training activity matrix dahil kailangan yung mabigyan ng reference kung ano yung schedule natin for today example. Tapos after that, meron tayong tatlong method for assessment during the institutional assessment. So, yan po yung written test, demonstration, at oral questioning. So, lahat po yun ay ipapagawa muna before providing feedback. May fault po kasi ako dito. Kung mapapahinggan nyo po, nag-provide ako ng minimal feedback bago ko mag-oral questioning. So dapat all of the assessment methods muna ay ma-deliver natin before we provide any feedback. Nakalimutan ko lang po na may oral questioning pa pala before providing feedback. Tapos, when it comes to the institutional assessment, dapat kung ilan po yung assessment methods na ginamit natin, isa-isa po itong po-providean ng feedback. So, since tatlo yung assessment methods natin, written test, demonstration, at oral questioning, tatlo din po dapat ay feedbackan natin. So, pakinggan natin kung paano nangyari institutional assessment.
for another day in our training. Welcome to Gemalin Manpower Training Center. And as scheduled for today, training number 1 will be focusing on Information Sheet 2.3-1 and Information Sheet 2.3-2, which is to draw basic geometry for preparing computer-aided drawings. And si other training naman po are scheduled for an institutional assessment for computer-aided drawings. So, training number 2, are you ready for the institutional assessment? Okay. Our institutional assessment for today will be 3 hours for the demonstration. With oral questioning, you will be given a specific instructions to the candidate in order for you to perform the said task, and you will be given 1 hour for the written exam. First, we're gonna have to do the written exam. Here is the post test. Please answer it for 1 hour. Are you done? Okay. So next is here is the specific instructions to the candidate. You will be demonstrating on how to do basic geometry, and you will be given 3 hours in order for you to do that. So please start. Done. Okay. So according to the results of your institutional assessment,
So yun, when you do demonstration dito sa institutional assessment, dapat magde-demonstrate po ulit ang ating trainee, no? So kung ano yung ginawa niya doon sa demonstration kanina on the practicing part of the task, papaulit niyo lang po sa kanila. Naintindihan po? Hindi po ito isi-simulate at i-skip na lang, no? Magde-demonstrate po ulit sila ng same task na pinagawa nyo kanina. Okay? So right after that, may oral questioning pa po. So may minimal fault ako dito na nag-provide na ako ng konting feedback before doing the oral questioning. So kayo, of course, hindi nyo nagagayahin yun. You will let them answer oral questioning first before you do the feedbacking.
firstly, sa ating written exam, you actually answered 85% of the questions right. So that is actually a passing grade. And for the demonstration naman, you performed well naman on using the AutoCAD in order for you to be able to prepare drawings or architectural layouts and details. But there is a slight discrepancy on the dimensions. And before that, I will gonna have to ask questions po muna regarding the institutional assessment. So what is the the standard height of a door? Okay. How about a window? Okay. So yun, no? As I've mentioned earlier, your demonstration is you did it satisfactorily. There is a certain discrepancy between the dimensions lang, but it is on a minimal discrepancy. So basically, it is a 1/8 of an inch, which will not be matter as well as it should have. And for your for your oral questioning, you did it well. You answered it correctly naman po. And based on that evidences, I consider you now competent for preparing computer-aided drawings. Since this is your last core competency, you will be finishing up the whole technical drafting NC2 course. I will just first stick it on your progress chart. Ayan. Okay. Since this is your last, again, core competency that you need in order.
So right after providing feedback on the institutional assessment, pupunta tayo talaga sa progress chart na nakapaskel dun sa ating assessment or demonstration area at iti-take natin na itong training na ito ay since nakatapos na siya sa prepare computer-aided drawings, checkan natin yung prepare computer-aided drawings dun sa chart. Then, dun magiging evident kasi that this training pala, since that is the last core competency na kailangan na niya in order for them or yung training natin to have all of the competencies, pwede na siyang mag-exit ng program. So, i-validate nyo yung explanation on the ending of the program doon sa monitoring tool, which is the progress chart. Clear? Okay. So, after that, since mag-end na siya ng training, ang last na ipapagawa po ninyo is the training session evaluation form. Ang purpose po nun, of course, is for the trainers, the whole training center, and the qualification para po tayo ay mag-progress. Okay? So, ang mangyayari po doon is after ng progress chart, sasabihin niyo po na since this is the last day of your training, please answer this training session evaluation form in order for me as your trainer to further improve the training session as well as the tools, materials, and equipment and other facilities and technical drafting NC2. And after that, you will congratulate them and wish them good luck and God bless on the national assessment. So that concludes the 30-minute COC1 demonstration po.